Okay, aloha. Welcome to the Caring Caregiver Show. I'm your host, Savy, the founder of Give Me a Break. And Give Me a Break is a nonprofit organization, an all volunteer nonprofit organization that's caring for caregivers. And we're here to bring back the joy of caregiving. And each week we help caregivers to survive. And you can check out our website at gab808.org. And there's a lot of information there, and you can even click in for support. We have a caregiver support request. This is not a formal form. Ooh, I wonder if that's where the word form came from. Formal, never mind. There she goes off on a tangent. And so it's just a simple form, really giving us your information. So of course we can get back to you, and then kind of listing what your needs are. We know how precious caregiver time is. We're all caregivers. I'm still caregiving, right? And so, oh God, my dog had an ear infection, and I'm trying to do the medication. Anyway, okay, so yes, I'm a caregiver for people and pets, right? And no plants because I kill them. And so we know what it's like. And so it's a simple form, but if you can give us what you're looking for, maybe you need a resource, maybe you need to just find out whatever it is that you need, we'll kind of do that research ahead of time and then get that information to you as soon as we can. And that way, you'll just be able to see the information and know what you need, and you can go from there. And that saves time. So that way, we're not going to have to go through any long, drawn-out process to figure out what your needs are or go back and forth asking questions. Caregivers don't need that. You need an answer. We'll get that answer to you as best as we can. So fill out the form, and that helps us get help to you. And if that's not enough, well, you know what you can do? You can jump on any Tuesday evening to our support sessions. Our support sessions are amazing, and they've saved my life. I've been doing these now going on our 6th year, every Tuesday, 8 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. And we just completed a series, an 8-part series called Finding Joy. And it's helping you to find joy in all the different things. And we ended it last night talking about how to find joy within yourself. And a lot of times we can't radiate joy if we don't first find it within ourselves. And so it was a great, great exchange of ideas and thoughts. And it's just a wonderful, safe space for caregivers. I invite, you're all welcome to join. And even if you're not caregiving, it's okay. Join us. It's open to anyone because really we are all caregivers in one way or another, right? Rosalind Carter said it best. So if you don't know what that quote is, there's your homework for today. Look it up. Rosalind Carter, caregiving. Type it in. Trust me, we're all caregivers in one way or another, or we're going to need one. So it's free. It's online, open to the public, 8:00 p.m. every Tuesday. Positive, safe space just for you. We connect to a community of caregivers. And if you want to, you can just go onto our website as well. And you can click on from the website. You don't even need to remember the meeting ID. Super easy. It's our phone number, 808-754-3787. Type that in. That's the meeting ID, and we'll bring you right into the group. So you have support. It's here. The other way that you can get information as well is through our Giver's Guides magazine. Now, our Giver's Guides magazine comes out every month, and it's given as a gift. So make a donation of $25, and you're going to receive 12 monthly issues of the Giver's Guides magazine. And this is an online magazine. Why? Well, because I have not seen a caregiver yet who wants to schlep around a magazine wherever they go. Or it's bad enough that we're looking for our glasses half the time. Dear Lord, now we have to look for a magazine. And of course, it lessens our carbon footprint. We're from Hawaii. That's where we started. And it's really all about natural resources. So why print a bunch of magazines that are going to just get thrown out later or turned into Christmas trees? And I'm showing my age there. I know. But if you made Christmas trees out of magazines, you're giggling with me right now. Anyway, so it's a great magazine. You can take it around with you anywhere. Read it on your Kindle, look at it on your iPad, read it on your phone, or at home on your PC, or put it on your smart TV, and you can read an article about how to take care of you. how to survive this journey and how to find joy in your caregiving. Our cover this month is amazing. We have an amazing article by one of our guests as well, and she talks about self-love. So really excited about that. And here are some of the other articles that you'll see. You'll see finding the being in the doing. This is a great article by Lonnie. We have our navigating time and managing caregiving. It even talks about ADHD, which, gosh, I'm the poster child. What was that? Squirrel. Yes. And so there are all these wonderful articles in there for you to read. I hope you check it out. And a simple $25 donation helps us to help caregivers and help all of you. And then you get this wonderful gift from us. And so please check it out. Go to our website. Where is it? There it is. And you can just go to jb808.org/donate. Okay. And you know what? This is self-love month. This whole month is all about self-love, which is why I'm really excited that we have our newest writer talking about self-love. And please remember that caregivers are at risk, and that self-love and wellness are my two main subjects today, are so important for caregivers. And, my newest statistic now, right? So for years and years and years, you've all bared with me, who cares? I've said that 50% of caregivers pass before the ones that they're caring for. And that is the statistic. I just updated it in January for 2025. The 2026 statistic, it has gone down 10%. It is now 40% of caregivers, which is, yes, just an amazing, amazing thing. And we've saved 10% of our caregivers, not just with Give Me a Break, but with connecting communities and with people putting all this energy into wellness, into self-love, into helping caregivers to see that you are worthy. And if we can bring that down, that's how we bring back the joy of caregiving. So I was super excited to talk about self-love, because you deserve that. You are worthy, and doggone it, you are special, and you deserve to love yourself. So there's great articles, and you can get this, the Giver's Guides for yourself. Please do that. And so just know that you're worth it. Not only are you worth it to self-love, but you're also worth a little laugh, a little joy every day. So it's time for our mindful moment, and we're truly honored to have a social media viral sensation with hundreds of thousands of followers, of course, and a world-renowned laughter leader and award-winning empowerment coach, and a very, very special person to bring joy and keep you laughing. So please welcome, and she's going to blow you away today. Please welcome Bianca Spears. Hi, Bianca.
Today. Hello, Savy. It is a little windy here, so we'll see how we go. But you know what I do when things go wrong?
What do you do? That's right. And so I'm going to turn it over to you. So please take it away. Blow us away with some laughter.
Okay, so blowing away. Well, let's start with 2 sips of breath in through the nose, and then we're going to sigh it out. So sipping in again twice. And this third one we're going to blow for as long as we can. And if you can get to the end and you feel like you're out of air, see if you can laugh. One more like that. Okay, we're going to breathe in, bring our palms up. On the exhale, we're going to bring our palms together and down to our chest. I'm just cupping the microphone with my other hand while I give the instructions. So we're going to breathe in and we're going to laugh down. Ready? Breathe in, scooping up. Scooping up that sunshine and laughing down. and we're choosing to laugh. So we breathe in and we laugh out. Breathing in. Feel that laughter coming into your heart. One more like this. We're going to open up, breathing in. And on the exhale, giving yourself a big hug. Breathing in, opening up. Big hug. Remembering to care for yourself. Remembering to open into joy. This one we're going to laugh as we hug. Opening up. Coming back together. And inspired by the crow that I'm sure you guys have heard, we're going to do a bit of a crow laugh. So breathing in. Nice deep breath in. Sighing it out. Perhaps with your eyes closed and your hands on your chest, just noticing how you feel in this moment. Bringing a little smile to your face, knowing that even a smile can bring endorphins and increase the production of endorphins in our bodies. They're the happy hormones. Gentle breaths, gentle smiles. Feeling your body fill with joy with each breath you take in, and radiating that joy out as you breathe out. Breathing in that joy. Breathing it out. And giving yourself thanks for being here, for choosing to smile, to take this mindful moment and to laugh today. And if you'd love more tools for self-regulation, you can check out Regulation Station, which is on the Vital Side website, vital-side.com. It's called Regulation Station. It's a hub filled with tools to regulate your nervous system, bring you back into balance.
Oh my goodness, that was so wonderful. I loved it.
I couldn't help it. I was like, you're begging to be included.
I love it. I know. And behind you, there was, I guess there was somebody who was teeing off and they were sort of turned sideways. And at a glance, I thought they were a llama. And I'm like, there's a llama behind you. I love that. I know, it's hilarious. But thank you so much, because I love the way that you combine the fact that we are really radiating joy from within. So thank you for that. I'm excited to see what you're going to do next week. I can't wait. Everybody, remember to join us next week for more with Bianca. Mahalo and aloha, Bianca. Thank you so much.
Aloha.
I love it. I love it. And you can, of course, you can check out Bianca's YouTube. Just go to YouTube/Bianca Spears and please check out some of her videos as well. And we just love having you this season. I think that this has by far been one of the greatest mindful moments because bringing joy and laughter in our day is so needed with a caregiver. And we really appreciate you. What a wonderful way to celebrate Self-Love Month. Let me just scroll up so that I'm ready here. What a wonderful way to celebrate Self-Love Month, of course. And my first guest today is a self-love and emotional wellness coach who supports caregivers in reconnecting with them while caring for others. She teaches that caring for yourself is not separate from caregiving. It's foundational. So please welcome my first guest today, and also a new author with us in the Giver's Guides magazine. Super excited. Please welcome Jackie Fernandes. Aloha, Jackie. So good to have you here.
So great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Not at all. I'm really excited. So please share with our caregivers your caregiving journey.
So my caregiving journey started quite young, and with my father. Honestly, he was one of 16 in a family.
Wow.
And he used to take some of us around every time there was a family crisis, and he was going to the rescue to go help people out. So in watching him, I noticed, oh, there's things I can actually do in that situation that can help rather than sitting back and not doing anything, right? It started to get my mind thinking. But watching him also identified to me, he was depleting himself. He wasn't giving anything to himself.
Yeah.
He was literally giving all of his energy, all of his time, everything to caregivers, to be a caregiver in the hospital. And so that got me thinking. I used to see him come home, get tired, exhausted, get sick because he really wasn't taking care of himself. Right. So that's when I decided to create a strategy of how we as individuals, caregivers, or any role that we're in, know that we have to build the love up in ourselves first and care for ourselves first before we can actually really care fully for others.
Yes. Yes. Wonderful. Well, what a wonderful example. And, it's really funny. It makes me think of, there's this cartoon that comes on social media all the time that shows a person all filled with, happy color inside of them, like a yellow or something. I can't remember. And then through the day, they touch people and it starts to drain and drain. And at the end of the day, they go home and they've turned completely black, right? They've turned dark. And their whole home is dark. And then, of course, they see their pet and it fills them back up again or whatever it is. But, but it's so true. And we do that. And as caregivers, we have so much light in us in the beginning of the day. And then at the end of the day, we're just like done. Or if you've been doing it for years and years and years, it gets harder and harder to replenish. And self-care is so important. And so how did that affect what you're doing today? Of course, it affected you in wanting to come up with something, but you come up with some really unique ways to sort of strategies, right? In what you do and how you coach people.
Yes, because what I was noticing in both my father and myself, quite honestly, is we're running on empty all day and then we're crashing, right? So I went on a re-engineering mission to figure out what are those things that we need to pay attention to. That's our energy, that's our emotions, and that's how our body is actually speaking to us.
Right.
So we know it's okay to take a break, right?
Yeah.
So some of the things that I had to do is reframe my mindset. Yes, I'm there to help, but I need to also be sure I'm capable and mentally and emotionally well enough to be able to help. So reframing it that I am a caregiver, but I am also an individual that needs to recharge. Listening to my body, really listening to my body and not just running through the motions like we mostly do every day because we're just so used to feeling a certain way.
Yes.
And understanding, okay, my body is telling me I'm tired here. What do I need to recharge? And that's where I started to get into yoga and movement therapy to really bring things down.
Right. And it's funny that we hear our body screaming to us, but we don't listen because we put us so far back. And what I love about what you're doing too is that you address the fact that this does come in moments. That this
Because-
isn't I need an hour at a class thing, that you actually fit that in. You have your yoga and your mind and body. You have a whole thing. Let's talk about that.
Yeah. So that came about when I was going through yoga teacher training, and I really learned how to listen to my body and how to get it into a state of calmness and peace and not on the go all the time, running. And once I started to recognize the difference in my body, well, then I said, well, this has to go further. So what else is it impacting in us? Well, our emotions fuel what our brain is thinking about. So I said, there's a heart-brain connection here that we need to talk about, because oftentimes we're acting and behaving based off what's going on in our head and not really what we're feeling in our heart. And this came up not only in a corporate setting, because we work, but it actually came up during COVID when the entire world was shut down.
Right.
And the organization was reaching out to people and said, do you have any resources that you can give to anybody to help them get through this time? And that's where that guide came up. I figured, every time I go to coach people, they say, I don't know if I have enough time. Well, now everyone has all the time in the world, so why not practice it?
Yes.
So in that package, I gave a bunch of exercises and movements that anyone can do to really understand their body, bring it down, come into peace. And these can be done anywhere. The yoga movements, obviously, you're not going to do in the middle of a meeting, but there are things like mudras in there that you can use that will basically help, calm down your energy nervous system inside while you're in a meeting. Who hasn't been in a place where things get hiding and heart rates are going up and everyone's ready to react? Well,
Yes.
These movements are built to just basically calm your internal energy system down so you can remain calm and cool. And then breathing exercises. I know we take it for granted. We breathe in air every day, but specific breathing exercises can really help us tap back into ourselves and bring us down to the calmness that we need, as we saw in the meditation when we first started.
Yeah. It just changed everything, didn't it? It's funny. Last night in our session, we were just talking about that, and one of the things that I was talking to them about connecting to themselves was one of the points is to connect back with nature. And I talked about the air in a home and what happens with caregivers. We become isolated, and you just breathe the air in your home. And so I pointed out to them, did you realize that the air in your house is 5 times dirtier than the air outside?
Exactly.
And so even if you just stand in your doorway, breathe the outside air for a moment.
Yeah.
You're doing something, you're taking advantage of that moment to kind of cleanse that and breathe differently. Some people say, well, I take breaths all day, every time I'm frustrated. And I ask them, have you looked out a window or stood outside your door today?
Yeah.
No, I don't have time for that. Make time. Right?
Make time, exactly.
And now to add with that, to be able to take advantage, if that's a first step that leads you to where you can combine this yoga in what you're doing. And that's why I love that you do it in moments. It's something anybody can do in a moment, right?
We all can find moments somewhere, and it's important that we take advantage of them. I think some of the recent or common, resistance factors that I hear when I'm working with people is, I feel so guilty for doing this because their loved one is hurt or they need to be there for them, and they don't set boundaries for themselves, right?
Yeah.
And so boundaries are huge, and it's okay to set them. Self-care is self-love, and you have to give it to yourself first in order to pour it out to the community that you want to give it to, right? So setting boundaries are just small steps. It could be, I've been here for an hour, I'm going to step away for 15 and really stick to it. Go on your walk, go get a coffee, do something, change your scenery. And then the guilty feeling, right? The guilt always comes up. I feel guilty. It's common. And this is where I reframe the mindset of, you have to remember your loved one is in the best care possible, right? There's other people there helping them. So the guilt is unnecessary, because what you need is to understand and know that they're in a safe, loving, caring space where you can move away, live your life, take your breaks, give yourself self-love.
Yes.
So you don't feel like you have to sit there 8 hours a day in a hospital room, because honestly, they're not going anywhere, and anyone is going to call with an update if needed.
Yep.
So those pockets come in, and it's very critical that we take advantage of them.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that, we tend to do that, especially for a loved one. And you get so overwhelmed that you have to be there every second. But
Yep.
understanding that if you don't put you're the most important part of the caregiving equation. If
Absolutely.
something happens to you, then what? So your health and your mental state are priority. It's not even something that's negotiable, right?
Right.
You have to put that first. I totally agree with that. Yeah. And so, okay. So how do our caregivers connect with you? How do they get this information? Where they can go to your website, correct? So
Yes.
Jackie Fernandes with an S, by the way,
Yep.
.com, you guys. It's on the screen for those who are watching. And of course, you can always go to our website to get more information. But if they go to your website now, what are they going to, how are they going to navigate that? They're going to click on, they're going to go to find, or do they type in a search yoga for your mind and body?
No, actually just go into the products tabs. It's all listed as freebies there for everyone to download, make as many copies as you want. It is my gift of giving to the world and to caregivers. I don't think we take enough time out for ourselves. So it's freebies on there for everyone to take. And then I have some other services that are paid for, obviously, but it is all about focusing on yourself and reminding yourself you are more than being in this role. You are so much more being outside the role as well. And so keeping yourself front and center and caring for yourself is the fuel that you need to continue to give and do what you're doing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you for that. Thank you for the freebies. And also, but you do some coaching. So self-love coaching, people might not think they need it, but listen, you guys are running around not justifying that this is a priority. So trust me, get in a conversation with a self-love coach and it will change everything. This isn't egotistical love. This is honoring yourself and honoring everything that you're doing. And having a conversation with Jackie could change your whole caregiving journey. And if we can become solid in who we are, then we can radiate that out to others. So you actually become, like you were saying, caregiver for it. So you're not even just doing this for yourself, right?
No, I do this because I see this happen all the
thank
time.
you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So was there anything else we missed? I don't know if I missed anything. Was there something else you wanted to talk about today?
No, you can go ahead and check out all the information on my website. I offer services there. And I also have Instagram at Jackie Fernandes Coach if you want to check out things that are going on there. And thank you so much for having me today. It is a pleasure to speak with you.
Oh, absolutely. And we really appreciate, again, she donates her time to write these articles for you guys. So check it out in the Giver's Guides. And we're so excited to have you as one of our writers and one of our authorities sharing ways for you guys to self-love. So in this month of self-love, please make it a point to do that. And thank you so much, Jackie, for everything that you do and the kindness that comes from your heart. We really appreciate it.
Thank
you so much. Aloha. Mahalo. Okay. And look, I even remembered to turn it off. There we go. Okay. Look, I'm doing good today, you guys. Are you proud of me? I'm kind of proud of myself. And what was something I just talked about in our group? I said that you should thank yourself. So thank me for doing the things that I am proud of today. All right. So remember, you can check out that article. $25 donation gets you 12 issues that come to you in a link that you can go ahead and you can read those articles. And she's got an article. I'm trying to remember now. What was it? Let me go back to this here. Let me go back to this and switch back to 5 ways to practice self-love guilt-free. There you go. That's what you want to read right there. That great article in there. Okay, big announcement here. So the from Give Me a Break, our dates and location that I talked about last week for those free workshops is set. We are all set. The Care Receiving Plan workshops are live and active. You can register now. It's super exciting because this is everything you're going to need to receive care. Now, that may or may not be in time for the one you're caring for. That still applies to them, but it's definitely something as a caregiver you need now, and everyone is going to need. You got your retirement plan? Fine, that's fine if you can retire. But what happens when you need to be taken care of? That could even go beyond your retirement. It could happen before. It could happen anytime. So you need this plan. We all need this plan. It's going to change the narrative to caregiving. It's going to help bring the joy back, because those tough decisions will get made with knowledge, right? So these are the dates. I've got them on screen. So look for that. Take a screenshot. It's an 8-part workshop every Saturday. And it's going to be at the Aina Haina Library here in the east side of Oahu. So if you can make that, that's fine. If you can't, don't worry, because we're taking this on the road. So we'll be coming to a town near you. So stay tuned, pay attention for it. And you can go onto our website and simply go to gab808.org/CRP for Care Receiving Plan. And you can sign up and register for that right now, or you can also just keep informed. All right. It's super important. The seating is going to be limited for our first one. So register now, gab808.org/CRP. Oh, caregivers, listen up. Did you realize that you are the most important part of the caregiving equation? Did you hear that before? I said that earlier. You are. Without you, there is no caregiving. Then what happens? There's no one, right, to care for. So that makes your health a priority. And I've talked about this. I'll keep screaming it at the top of my lungs. My next guest is a wellness advocate. So not only do you need to practice self-care, but self-care and wellness hold hands. And I love that I had them both on the show today. A wellness advocate. She's also an outdoor enthusiast, a lifelong student of science. This is going to be the interesting part about our guest today, who is passionate about helping people reclaim their health and vitality. She blends research-backed insight with lived experience to give people hope and practical strategies to support your mind, body, and soul. Please welcome my guest today, Kristine Zellmer. Kristine, welcome and aloha. Nice to have you here.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm excited to be
Oh,
here.
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. So please, before we start, share your caregiving journey.
So, sorry. It started about 10 years ago. Well, first of all, everyone's here because there's someone they're taking care of, whether it's, mom, a dad, a child, or maybe they're paid, maybe it's a spouse. But regardless, taking care of others can be emotional. It can be exhausting, stressful, and all of that prolonged over, long periods of time can really impact your health negatively. Yeah. And so that's my passion, is to share my journey in hopes that you get a tidbit that take from my mistakes of what I did wrong.
Right? We all make them.
We all mess up. No one's perfect. And then also, what I've learned, over my past 8-10 years, and in hopes that you can live vitality with lots of energy and keep caring for the people you love. So there we go. I had to start with that. And I'm not a practitioner, so I do want to say that. I do talk a little bit about health, but this is all tidbits that I've learned. So it really started about 10 years ago when my son was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Now, if anyone knows anything about type 1, wow, diabetes is complex, and it's a very fast, steep learning curve when you go into it. Suddenly I'm talking about carbs and insulin and shots and add on that my son was scared to death of needles. Like that didn't help. So it's just a lot going on.
And can I just throw in there too, that there's no cure for type 1.
There is no cure. Well, there's one person in China that's been cured. So,
well, but so far, right? Type 2 diabetes can be controlled, and type 1 is a little different. So for those who understand, there is quite a big difference. That's got to hit you hard.
It is. It's a lifelong problem. And, when I say you have to learn about it, there's like 200 things that cause your blood sugars to change. So, it's not only stressful on the person, obviously, on my kid, but on the family, because it's a whole, the environment they're around. Like it's a constant battle. Yeah. So I'm going to say, like any mom, or dad, whatever, I dove into the caretaking mode. And I do feel like my life led up to a point where I was fairly well prepared. I had been hypoglycemic my whole life. So I kind of knew about glycemic index and protein and stuff like this, but this was a whole nother level. Mm-hmm. I spent the first year probably up 2, 3, 4 times a night, checking on him.
Yeah.
Sleeping in his room, scared to death of what would happen when I'm not there and when he was sleeping. And, luckily, there's new technologies out there. There's technologies that can alert you. But at that time, we needed 6 months of not using technology and just doing it the old fashioned way of shots and being there. And that's scary, gut wrenching scary. So unfortunately, I did not take care of myself. I did not listen to my body screaming at me, you need to sleep, you need to rest, you need to eat, all this stuff. I just went in that caretaker mode and doing whatever I could for my kid.
Yeah.
Well, 14 months into his journey, I suddenly had weird symptoms and sent me into the doctor because I finally did listen to the symptom. That's what made me go in. And after a couple of months, the doctor came out with that he thought I had been diagnosed with MS. Now, that was extra gut-wrenching because my sister had died from complications from medicine from MS 22 years ago now. And I saw the worst that that disease could do. And I thought, well, I can't get this. I can't have problems. I have to take care of my family. I have to take care of my kid. Like the thought of not being able to take care of them,
right,
it horrified me. And not being there, I didn't want to have them take care of me. So given that, I was willing to do anything. And I was lucky because I had a girlfriend that drove over and handed me a book on helping heal my body from within. And I listened to it and I wrote lots of notes and I decided this is what I needed to do. So I went on this huge health journey. And I did it overnight. I was like, I'll do everything. Now, not perfect overnight, but I made that decision because I knew my why for taking care of them, my family, was bigger than my need to eat whatever I was eating. So I call my diagnosis a good wake-up call. And I'm grateful for it because I'm in a better spot today than I was 8.5 years ago. And it also let me model for my kids something that, it showed them that you have to take care of yourself and that you're responsible for taking care of yourself. And that if you don't do that, you're not going to take care of others. And it just modeled good behaviors that they could take. I've never been a drill sergeant. I've never been like, you can't eat this, you can't eat this, but suddenly I just was like providing them with better options.
Yeah. Well, and I love the fact that, and I don't love the fact that you had to get a diagnosis, but I love the fact that you share this because you say that, I'm kind of glad this happened because, it woke me up. And now you're telling that story. Hopefully some caregiver watching this, listening to this is going, I need to wake up. And it's a wake up call because when someone else shares their wake up call, it's yours too. And now there might not be that you're diagnosed with a disease, but you could have really high blood pressure, or you could have heart problems that are up and coming that you're not paying attention to, right? It's caregivers, we isolate and put on so much weight and we're exhausted and we're not sleeping. So of course you're going to have medical issues. And the sooner you give yourself a wake up call, right? The better.
I had symptoms. I had little tiny symptoms in my 30s that if I had listened to it, like for example, when I used to get massages, every time I'd get a massage, I would get sick afterwards. Well, you know what I did? I remember saying these words to my sister, I hate massages, I get sick. So instead of digging into why, I was a busy mom with 2 kids, I stopped getting massages. Okay, that was the worst thing. So if any of you are like that, please go get more. I'm going to teach you a little bit more about that. So, and I'm happy to talk to you about that because that was a sign that my body was not functioning well. And I just ignored it. And so I had other symptoms, and it was that constant stress of 1.5 years of not sleeping that really put me over, so in my health journey, the first thing I did, is I dove into the nutrition, and I realized I had to change my mindset of what I was eating. I've been a person to eat for substance. So I needed food, I needed calories. So I just eat something, and I probably a lot of granola bars, a lot of things on the fly. What do I have easy? And I had to change my mindset into feeding my my cells, nourishing my cells. And I had to learn what was important for me, what things were not good for me, and so that was my first step. And I really realized I kind of, I can be smart, stupid, smart, I don't know, whatever. So wow, the food you eat actually feeds your cells, and the cells are your building blocks.
What a concept, right? It does. Yes.
So, we're told that. But when you realize it, it's like, wow. Well, I didn't notice huge improvements right away. And of course, we're in the instant gratification world, but I did stick with it. I knew I was on the right path. Luckily, someone introduced me to the idea of managing your blood flow. And I thought, what?
Well, isn't this where Beam with Kristine kind of came into the picture now, right? And how this affected this changed everything then, right?
Changed everything. So, I used to be a runner. So I'm like, oh, I exercise. That's good for your blood. Well, unfortunately, what I didn't know is the heart only controls 25% of your blood flow, 25, 26. What? I thought I did all the job. No, we have a whole secondary system out there that's responsible. There's little muscles that contract and they push the blood to the cells. And that system slows down with age. And stressors. Okay, hear that, stressors? So when you're under chronic stress, guess what? Your blood flow is not getting very well to your cells. And so then your food, whatever it's good or bad, is not getting delivered well to your cells. The oxygen's not. Your cells get sick, and that's where that disease manifests. And then your cells don't get cleaned out, because if you don't have good blood flow.
I love that, because we always think about our heart, protect your heart, be heart healthy, make sure you do things to keep your heart strong, but, go for a walk, make your heart strong. And those are all really important and really good. But, you forget about the behind the scenes things. And as we're caregivers, we're behind the scenes people. We should respect that, right? We should pay attention to that.
This whole new world of what? I didn't even know about this. And so when I was also blessed to learn about a device that got my whole system working quickly. So I'm talking 8 minutes. I can afford 8 minutes of sitting. Okay, anyone can do that. And what I noticed was profound. Within 3 days, my energy was restored. I mean, I went from a point of sleeping all afternoon every day to instead having so much energy, then instead of sleeping, I had to run. I had to expend energy. So my dog was super happy because he got to run. It was giving me back my life. But wow, I realized this is amazing. All that good food was finally being delivered. And the combination of those two really were impactful.
Well, that's really key. You're eating good food, but it can't always be delivered.
Right.
That's key.
It is key. And, you people don't realize it. So, I mean, what I've started to do is I teach classes just on the importance of blood flow and tips. There's lots of things we can do. As simple as, let's say you're married or have a spouse at home, share giving massages to each other. That is, and I don't care if it's just temporary, local, it's a temporary fix. It will help push the blood to your cells, but that's exactly what it does. And it's free. So, and it's good for probably, the emotional side of things as well. I've done a lot of things over the last 8.5 years with my health. I didn't stop there. I'm always willing to try things, learn new things, go on podcasts. And I've kind of resorted it down to 4 things that are really critical. And nutrition is key. Doing something to nourish your cells. And we're not always going to be perfect. Never berate yourself. I never say I cheat, because that's no, I choose. If I choose that chocolate, I'm choosing to enjoy it. Yeah, part of that's emotional as well, Right. Second is working on that circulation, working on the whole macro and micro circulation. Third thing is hydration. Okay. Water. I think I drank more coffee in my life than I have water. Okay. It seems simple, but you forget to do it. And so, quality of water, if you don't have a filter, you are the filter. Have you heard that one? And the last one, emotional cold. So I don't, Jackie covered that. Go on her website and download it. Because dealing with our emotions.
Emotions, yes.
you have to. And I'm a happy person. I'm like, oh, but I'm a check off a box person. So having to dig into the emotions can, that was scary.
Right.
But it is really important to acknowledge that we have grief, we have sadness, and when we care for others, it can be, it's stressful. And
and I love what you said though. You said it's a choice. So we choose to not eat healthy. We choose, right, to not drink water. And so the choices that we're going to make are choices that can be both good and bad. And it's okay to make them, but we want to try to make more good choices, right?
And I wish I had known what I know now when my sister was diagnosed, because we just kind of followed the path of what the doctor said, but we didn't realize that there were some things that we could do. And that's my real passion, is to share my journey and help telling people, there's something that you can do. And there are, you cannot change everything all at once. That'd be unheard of. They say for good habits, you change one thing at a time, 2 things, and really get that going. I kind of joke that every year, and I didn't mean to do this, but every year I kind of look and kind of went down a different path for my health. Like one year, like I said, nutrition, then circulation, and then detoxing, and then weightlifting, so and I didn't mean to do it that way, but now it's purposeful. I'm like, what do I need to do? And sometimes we go backwards, trust me. So it is. So
is that where you kind of come up with the whole Beam with Kristine thing, right? So you actually have a caregiver self-care guide, right?
I do. So Beam with Kristine, I've realized that I have a lot of energy.
Wow, yes, that's wonderful.
And I just like to share. And so kind of that whole sunshine model, I like to share my passion and share this journey in hope. So I came up with a guide that you can download. It's on my website. It's the Beam method, 4 simple ways to support your light. And it's, just trying to be mindful. I will also offer a complimentary consultation call. Now, again, I'm not a health coach, but I'm happy to see where are you at. Maybe I have some tips. I also have, like I said, some live Zoom presentations that I dive more. Most of the time, I do cover all my areas, but most of the time I focus on that microcirculation and the blood flow, or all blood flow, because most people don't know that. Yeah. And to me, it's fascinating. And there's a lot you can do. There's some things more impactful than others, and some are easier than others. So I'd encourage people to go on my website, download the guide, join me on a Zoom call or a phone call.
So that's awesome. And so the guide alone, you guys, it's a free downloadable. Thank you for that. And just beamwithkristine.com, beamwithkristine.com, you guys. And the number's on the screen, 651-387-6192. Give her a call. She's giving you a complimentary 15 minutes of her time, and I was telling Kristine earlier before we got on and started the show, is that people come to me and I meet people that I bring onto the show because I feel like we're meant to talk. We're meant to be here. You're meant to be in this space. And I can really see how important your heart condition of sharing with people, with especially caregivers and those who are going through it, is going to be. And so caregivers, know that this is somebody who's been through it, going through it, and wants to be able to help you get through it. Right?
I do want to end with 2 things. One, know that if you have a type 1, especially in a new diagnosis, my son's 22, graduating college, was a college football player. He's doing great. So you get through that beginning time. Secondly, I do feel amazing. But third, luxury is not self-care is not a luxury. It's a necessity. And I live by that every single day. I listen to my body on what it needs. Some days it needs more than others. I'm a person that goes. And I do that now, but I'm intentional with finding my time for recovery.
And you're alive today because of it.
Mm-hmm. I am. And I've been traveling the world. My husband is newly retired. So we are empty nesters. So my business is just growing and having fun, a lot of fun. So I'm in a great phase in my life and I'm grateful for what I've learned. So.
Oh, well, thank you for sharing that with us. Thank you so much. And so Beam with Kristine, you guys, give her a call, 651-387-6192, or just check out the website, get that downloadable for free, beamwithkristine.com. Just remember to beam. You have me beaming already. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing and for coming on today. And so excited to hear more. We'll have to reconnect again and have you come back and do a follow-up and share some stories of any caregivers that have contacted you. And we'll talk about that more. But thank you so much for sharing with us today, Kristine. It was great to have you.
Thanks for having me on.
Aloha. Wow. See? I'm telling you, thank you so much, Kristine, for sharing about health and survival. And you can contact her and get your blood flowing. And it's really funny because I studied Chinese medicine years and years and years and years, 100 years ago, probably. And, that's really kind of the foundation, right? Is blood flow in all of your organs. And we never think about that. We just think it happens. And as long as your heart's pumping, you're fine. But I love that you shared that because it really is so much more to it. You guys take advantage of that 15-minute consultation. Okay. And so really this season is just filled, I told you, amazing, amazing resources. And really, really this month of self-love, that's what it's all about. Getting ways for you to practice that, practice wellness, practice self-love. It's not a luxury. Like Kristine just said, it is a necessity. And know that each one of our resources have their own caregiving story. So they're caregivers just like you. And look at her. She's beaming, really, with excitement and energy. And don't you want to be like that in your caregiving journey? I think I do. I want to. So we have what you need right here on the Caring Caregiver Show. And as a reminder, the show is brought to you by Give Me a Break and Giver's Guides Online Magazine. So make that donation and keep this all coming and enjoy your mahalo gift. This season is just going to get better. It's just going to get better. I'd really like to thank Bianca Spears for bringing us laughter and a kaka as well. That was awesome. And you can check her out on YouTube, YouTube/Bianca.Spears. And then, of course, Jackie, thank you so much for sharing with us today and showing us how to practice self-love. She's got a couple of great freebies for you as well. JackieMFernandes.com. Check her out. And Kristine, who we just spoke with, you can beam with health and check her out on her website as well. And that is Beam with Kristine. So there you go. And if, of course, at any time you guys need it, just put a comment in whatever platform you're watching on, or just send us an email at info@gab808.org, and we'll get you any of those links, any of that information, anytime. That's what this is all about. Connecting you to resources. That's what we do. Okay, so we're connecting you, and you don't want to miss next week. Oh, what did I do next week? Oh, I didn't pull it up. Doggone it, Savina. I can do this. Watch me. I'll do this. Next week. There it is. And just like that, next week, tune in. We have Jenny Chung with Kupuna Paws. I know, it's awesome. It's a great nonprofit that helps our kupuna to be able to keep their animals with them and volunteers. And Nam's going to come on and talk about the blackbird. So we talked about crows today. We'll be talking about blackbirds next week. So hope to see you there. Join us. Put it on your calendar. Put it on your phone. Set a reminder for every Wednesday at 12 noon Hawaii Standard Time for the Caring Caregiver Show. And if you miss us on these 7 platforms that we're currently streaming on today, by all means, you can always, a week later, every show is available on podcast. It's on Spotify, Apple, Stitcher, Google, all of them. I don't know. If there's another platform you can think of, by all means, we're probably there. So check it out, and you can listen to us in podcast as well, The Caring Caregiver Show. Go to our YouTube channel as well, which is YouTube channel / Give Me a Break, or even the Caring Caregiver Show. We're on 2 different YouTube channels. The bottom line is stay connected. You're not alone. You're worthy of self-love and wellness. So practice that. Let's make 2026 a year filled with joy in caregiving and kindness to ourselves. Okay. So in the meantime, remember to breathe. And come out laughing. And here's hoping that you're finding more joy in your caregiving every week right here on the Caring Caregiver Show. Thanks for tuning in, and please be kind to yourself and especially to those who are caring. Aloha, everyone. Have a wonderful day. See you next week.